Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss Cloverfield, starring Odette Annabelle Yussman, Lizzie Kaplan, Jessica Lucas, T.J. Miller, Michael Starl David, and Mike Vogel, and directed by Planet of the Apes director Matt Reeves. And before I get into this, why put Cloverfield, the newest one, on Netflix? I don't get it, and I will talk about that when I get to that third movie. But for now, let's get into this movie. I like when we see New York City and we see the movie's perspective like it never sleeps. And we see Rob, played by Michael Stahl David, and Beth, played by Odette Annabelle Yussman, having a nice time at the fair, and suddenly we move to Rob's brother Jason, played by Mike Vogel, videotaping the night of his going away party, and his girlfriend Lily, played by Jessica Lucas, who is an absolute bitch to him, and Jason gives HUD, played by T.J. Miller, the video camera, and he moves the camera like out of control, and I'll explain that later in the show. Beth brings Travis to Rob's surprise party, and Rob is out of control about Beth bringing another guy to his going away party. Rob not only talking to her and not talking to her for weeks, which is melodramatic in my opinion. Marlena, played by Lizzie Kaplan, who is a gothic chick who HUD is in love with throughout the movie. Which, isn't HUD a little too annoying? I've ironically reviewed him before in Transformers: Age of Extinction. He was Mark Wahlberg's friend in that movie. And I will be reviewing him again in Deadpool. And I don't know how he's still getting acting jobs, but I find that actor to be a little tiny bit annoying. The Statue of Liberty head being on the ground reminded me of something familiar. That's right! He's a Planet of the Apes fan, and that's what I said earlier. And he directed both Dawn and War of the Planet of the Apes. The original Planet of the Apes did something to the Statue of Liberty. If you want to know, go listen to that review of the 1968 Planet of the Apes movie. But I still like that sequence. When we see Rob, Jason, HUD, Lily, and Marlena walking out of Manhattan, we see some images that are very haunting and disturbing to death. Rob gets a hold of Beth, and suddenly the bridge crashes and Jason dies. And that's okay with me because I barely knew that character except he's Rob's brother. Rob tries to get Beth right after the news said to not go the way to the Midtown, and that's when they encounter the military not only, but that giant monster that looks like a giant cockroach-looking bug. Which, does that make any sense to you? I don't think it does, but they go into a train station and go through some tracks. HUD, while all of those sequences were going on, was really getting on my nerves because he was talking too much and he really annoyed the hell out of me when he squealed like a little girl, like, good God, could someone please shut him the hell up? There's some creatures that come from the giant cockroach-looking bug that attack HUD, Rob, Lily, and Marlena, and that sequence was cool, but kind of a scary situation in my mind. Am I dreaming, or is this movie shot shaky cam, like the Blair Witch Project did? And I'm getting sick, like I'm going to vomit. My point is, hold the camera still, please. For Christ's sakes. The military find Rob, HUD, Lily, and Marlena, who, by the way, is infected the creature Marlena is, and I don't know what the hell it's called. And Marlena gets killed like she was the egg and the creature was the baby. That was haunting. But HUD is still getting annoying to very annoying. They find Beth's apartment after the military send them to go and get Beth, and HUD comes up with an idea which sounds good but too dangerous. Hell, I would be chicken to go out there if it were my idea, to a point I would crap in my underpanties. Sorry about that, girls. They get Beth out of her apartment when she was stabbed to death and she's still breathing, which is a good thing, and they make it out into the helicopters and try to escape until the cockroach bug monster takes it down and destroys the helicopter, and it's totally damaged. And the only thing that remained is Rob, Hud, and Beth, who get out of the damn destroyed helicopter, and Hud gets eaten up gladly by that giant cockroach-looking bug, because he really got on my nerves. Rob and Beth say their final words to the camera, and to be honest, I cared if they got back together, but didn't care whether they lived or died. I didn't really care for the characters as much. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 5.7 out of 10. It's not a great movie by any means. I don't like the shaky cam. I don't care for the characters. The only thing I think was cool is the cockroach-looking bug and its minions, and their effects is mediocre, and I hope it improves when we get to the final movie. It did for 10 Cloverfield Lane, which I will be getting to next week, by the way. That I'll be back for. And before I say goodbye, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe, watch some more videos, and please leave it a positive comment on the bottom. And until next time, roar.